Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and welcome to another video covering the Imagineering competitions on WDWMagic, your one-stop shop for all your Imagineering needs. Oh yes, oh yes. Joining us tonight is Space Mountain. How you doing tonight, Space?
I'm doing good, Tiki. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I think you and I are both kind of like in the whirlwind that is final season, so we're just trying to get by. We're trying to survive that. So solidarity, brother, solidarity. I know what you're going through. Oh God. So we both kind of decided to take a break from our finals and talk about the Elite
more
Eight.
like, more like a break from our sorrows.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about it. But
Talk about something better than finals.
yes. The Elite Eight is WDWMagic's year-end competition for all the high-ranking members of the boards that competed in either the Sole Imagineer, the Choice, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, or the Creator Games. 8 people enter, 1 person leaves, and the rest are dead. The rest are just slaughtered. You know, I mean, we're gonna miss Jokers. It's tragic that Jokers had to die in this whole thing, but he didn't even submit anything.
I'm more missing him because of my fantasy team just got destroyed last week.
Okay, how did that go, by the way? Because I forgot who drafted who. So
you are the only person left on my team.
wow. Okay, and well, at least I have an idea for the nighttime parade. I have an idea, so we'll see where I go with it. I'm not very happy being up against our Michael. I'm very skeptical about my chances, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so the first round has come and gone. We've seen 7 projects. Joker's Wild, unfortunately, did not submit, probably because of schoolwork and finals and everything. And brother, I can relate to you there. So, but we're going to break down the 7 projects. What was the assignment, Space Mountain? What did they have to do?
The assignment was it was different than most competition challenges. This one didn't have to really do with Imagineering per se. It had to do with the technical side of Walt Disney World parks. And if anyone has been to Walt Disney World in the last few years, they know that they have implemented a new system called MyMagic Plus, which is basically an all resort-wide planning system that includes a bunch of new features, which is the My Disney Experience app, which you have on your smartphones, which you can make fast passes on them. You can reserve dining on your phone. You have the park maps on your phone, all that fun stuff. And then you have magic bands, which basically act as your park pass. And the concept, when it started out, met with some mixed reviews. Most people thinking that they like more of the spontaneity of going to the parks rather than the 6 months in advance planning that some families do. But after a while, I think the kinks have been worked out, and I think it's a pretty. Do you have any opinion on the MyMagic Plus?
I mean, obviously, I haven't been to Disney World myself, and I haven't even been to Disneyland since I graduated in 2009. So, I mean, I see pros and cons with it. I think the pro is that I am one of those people that likes to plan shit out well in advance. So I could see myself kind of having a ball planning a Disney trip this way and kind of mapping out all the fast passes and stuff. On the other hand, I think it could potentially get intrusive, especially if there's bugs in the system. Like, I've heard really bad things about the website. I just think that the armbands in general are kind of cumbersome. Like, I wouldn't want to be wearing a freaking wristband around on my Disney trip all vacation. I think that'd get a little annoying. But I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I think that we actually were one of the testers for the system in the summer of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Our family they were asked us, and we were like, yeah, sure, why not? We did not really have a good time with it.
Oh God!
It was pretty rough. Nothing worked on it basically. The magic bands are supposed to get you into your room.
Oh no!
We spent like 4 or 5 hours at the front desk as soon as we got there because my dad and I have the same first name, so they mixed up our magic bands and we were in 2 separate rooms.
Oh no! Oh God! Oh God!
It was the running gag throughout the whole trip where which magic band do we have now? Because then when we go to the park, it would be under, um, my dad's name, and I'd be wearing his band. And then they'd pull me aside, and they'd be like, "Oh, did you steal his magic band?" I was like, "No."
Oh no! Oh, come on, come
No,
on.
actually, that's what happened. It happened multiple times, and I only actually got into the park legitimately once that whole trip. Every other time, I had to be pulled to the side. But
Oh dear God, that's awful. That's
yeah,
awful.
it was pretty bad. But we went back last year, and it was they worked out the kinks, I must say. The fast passes actually worked for what they are. We were actually able to ride the mine train at a decent time, uh,
Mhm.
aside from waiting in the ridiculous 120-minute lines for that 2-minute ride. Ridiculous. Although the fast pass was fine. I wouldn't mind waiting in the fast pass line for that, but not for the not
I
100.
waited in a 2 hour line for Space Mountain when I first rode Space Mountain, but I think Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a different story.
Yeah. I was looking around the bend. I was like, "Is there more to this ride?" And then it just ended. But anyway, so the project this round was to bring MyMagic Plus, along with some new features to maybe work out additional kinks, and bring it to the Disneyland Resort.
Mhm.
And that was the project for the Elite Eight contestants this round. So, what were your thoughts on the project as a whole?
The project as a whole, like to tell you the truth, I'm very surprised that I was able to get enough as much content on my overall project as I did. I kind of just cracked out a lot of that stuff at the last minute. It was sort of just me throwing stuff at the wall. Uh like I don't have a lot of experience with MyMagic Plus, so basically what I was kind of like I was sort of just my whole approach to it was kind of implementing new things that we hadn't seen at Disney World yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that that's a good strategy to go for this challenge. I mean, I think as we'll go through the individual contestants, a lot of the topics were kind of homogenous in the sense that, I mean, with this is a planning uh, a resort system as a whole. It's not really like an attraction where you can have multiple things coming out of it. Most people had the same general concept going for them. I
Right.
think what separated the winners from the losers is more of the things that they did to make it different than Walt Disney World, because
Mhm.
pretty much had the same basic concept down, except for one, which actually we'll get to, which I saw and I thought was pretty cool. Actually, ended up didn't not winning, which I thought was interesting. We'll get to that though.
Okay. Okay. So I guess to start off with, you want to talk about the first heat, which was R. Michael versus Sam.
Surely. Um, so let's see. So I actually wrote a small review in the other discussion thread a couple days ago, just because I thought it was fun. It was something that we've done in other competitions, just
Mhm.
reviews to each other. I was the only one to do it though, so it wasn't as much of a back and forth as I wanted it to be. But anyway, I thought Armichael, as always, he always comes up with good projects. He's the number one seed for a reason. He's always involved with the competitions. He always produces quality stuff. And I think the main thing in his project that separated his from the rest was not necessarily his writing, which is always good. It was more what he did with the magic bands as a whole. And I'm going to go get the specific wording of it so I don't screw it up. Oh, my magic band package styles. I thought this was
Right. Right.
um, basically you could have their magic band shipped to them, and you can style to help celebrate your upcoming vacation with a particular theme, which I thought was interesting. I think that that's a good way to start off a vacation, maybe if people are going down for a particular reason, like a engagement or a marrying, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good feature.
I thought it was interesting the way that he implemented guests' names being a part of the attraction. Like, I like the idea of your name being on a tombstone in the Haunted Mansion, for example.
Actually, that was one of my issues with it. Was I
Oh,
thought,
really?
yeah, um, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that as a whole.
I
Uh,
thought it was a clever little touch. I don't know. It's not something that would ruin the experience for me by any
oh,
means.
it wasn't the name. It was the birth date on it. I thought that was. I've just had a couple of people who I've talked to who've actually lost a lot of personal information because they've given out their birthdays. So apparently, if you give out your birthday, you're susceptible to.
I could see that. I could see that.
So that was the one thing I mentioned in my review is that I wouldn't really put the birth date on there. If you're gonna put the name, that's one thing. That's fine.
What about just died in a fictitious year?
Yeah, no, that might be a little bit better. But
Right.
I thought that a lot of his options were mostly just names. I didn't really see anything that was that stood out to me in terms of creativity.
Yeah, a lot of it is kind of generic. Like Alice in Wonderland, you see your name on a leaf. I'm like, okay, that's like, whatever.
And then for Toy Story, I could just picture someone coming from an international country who has a difficult name who's not in the computer system. And the person next to him, they're like, "Go, John, go!" And then he's just like, "Go!" And then there's just silence. Go. It's just like it kind of would ruin the experience for that person. So
I mean, so it's basically like the technology in ET Adventure, except for the next generation.
yeah, so you'd think a new system would have more names, but anyway, that's just a little thing.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I thought it was good. I thought that it incorporated a lot of things from Disney World and added to them in a sense. But mostly, it was just a solid project. No no loose ends to it, or really a few minor things here and there. But overall, it's what you'd expect.
Yeah, it's very well rounded.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get to Sam, who definitely had an uphill battle, being the 8th place seed next to the 1st place seed. I think Sam gave a very worthy effort here. I really do. I think he surprised us.
Yeah. And like I said before, I think if he had one, maybe two extra day, actually, I didn't even think one extra day, he might have actually won this challenge. I think his idea was much more unique than Michael's with the
He was
coins.
the one person to do a website too, which surprised me.
Exactly. And although Michael did a video, I thought that Sam's video was more professional.
And much more personalized as well.
Yeah. Although I do think that his script could have used a little bit more editing, and I think he could have used another run through of that. But it's also because he was cramped.
Having said that, I know how much of a pain in the ass it is to edit video, so it's like I can give him a pass.
So once you make it that far, I think you're just going with the flow at that point.
Exactly. Right.
It's like it doesn't matter what you're saying, just keep going. I think that it was a creative idea. I think that I always like seeing websites and videos and projects. I mean, into 2016, you could probably expect a lot of that from me if I'm doing individual projects, just because I like doing creative things with it. I don't just like writing text-based things. I think those are.
I was considering formatting mine as a blog. I've actually done that before.
No, I think stuff like that. I think art adds a lot to it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I
did some Photoshop work for mine.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
We'll
get to that too.
Uh-huh.
I just think that it adds a different level to these projects that I think make them more unique. I think his website was pretty well laid out. I think it was organized. Obviously, I mean, you can nitpick some things on it, but overall,
he has a couple links that go directly to Disney official website, which I think is, I don't know, that might be a little cheap, but whatever.
I was mostly talking about the MyMagic Plus over the picture. One of them is green font. You can't read it over the picture.
Right.
Foggy. But again, that's with time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that his concept as a whole, and we'll get to his concept, I think the concept of coins and competing, kind of against your family in a way, in a sense, to earn points. I think that's an interesting concept. And I think
it would add another dimension to the family vacation, which is a nice touch. That's what MyMagic is supposed to do in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that it should be limited to just the hotel accommodations, fast passes. I think it could be a lot more, especially since they spent like over $1 billion on this thing. It's got to do more than
Exactly. Freaking
got to do more
exactly.
than just get you into the park and make a fast pass. It's got to do more than
Oh.
that. And I think that this is a nice way to incorporate new technology into it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we can agree. Yeah, Sam, he had a valiant effort here, and I think if he had a couple more days, maybe he would have beat our Michael. Our Michael was. It was just a really, really tough act to follow. You know, it's just like I don't think this was the best work that our Michael's given, but even like a subpar our Michael project is going to be a lot more professional than a lot of other people on this board.
Oh yeah, and I think that the good writing sometimes will hide uh, hide average sort of topics, if that makes sense. If
Right,
it's
right.
if it's written well, it'll sound better than something that is disorganized and is it is worded poorly, even if it's the exact same idea. At least in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
All
move
right.
on to ID Institute versus Joker's Wild, and Joker's Wild unfortunately probably got caught up with finals and everything. So let's just quickly go through IDI's project.
Yeah. Number one, I liked that he actually hand drew the art. I like the effort. I think that adds a dimension to his
It
project.
does.
Even
It does totally.
doesn't have to be Leonardo da Vinci. Just just drawing something out personalizes it, and I think adds a level of passion to a project. If you're not just going to go to Google Images and find a magic band, which you can easily do, to take the time out and actually draw out your own unique concept, I think is good.
Yeah, definitely,
And
definitely.
yeah, I think I'm assuming he made these magic sliders, these um, posters here. I'm
Mhm.
assuming he made these. They're good. I think his overall concept, I think,
It would
as
be
we
weird
said,
if he found them on Google Images.
yeah, that would be,
Like,
I
I'm
think,
just gonna steal this hand-drawn drawing that someone did.
oh no, I was talking about there's a poster below his
Oh,
concept.
okay, right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I was wondering if he actually made that or not. I'm assuming he made that.
Wait, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. You see the Space Mountain thing?
Yes.
That's wow, wow. IDI, I'm gonna call you out, although I think it's amazing that you used it. But that's actually Daft Punk Space Mountain, and he probably got that from the So You Want to Be an Imagineer Facebook page.
Really?
Because if you look
That,
closely, the guys writing Space Mountain are all in Daft Punk helmets.
oh, I see. That's really
And that's
interesting.
actually one of my favorite projects that's ever come out. Is So You Want to Be an Imagineer is Daft Punk Space Mountain.
Oh, well, maybe it's an Easter egg then.
I think so. I just noticed that. That's
Ah, well, cool. Well, then kudos then, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think he kind of took a little bit of the poster for that attraction, which I have up on our Facebook page. So that's a nice use of resources there.
Oh, well, that's good then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this hits a lot of the same notes as our Michaels, I think, and I think a lot of the ones to come.
Mhm.
Installing new Fast Pass Pluses to the Disneyland attractions, use of magic bands, the customization of magic bands. I think it's going out in the same fashion as most of these other projects.
Yeah,
Not too
yeah.
much, not too much to say about it in general, other than the original concept art, which I thought was good.
Okay.
So yeah, and then Jokers didn't submit, so IDI won that round.
Indeed, indeed. All right. Now let's get to what we all know is the best project of the eight. I mean, come on now. Come on.
Oh yeah.
All right. No, but seriously, I'm impressed with how well my project turned out, given that I really am not a big fan of my magic in general. There's a few nitpicks that I could give my project. Like, I don't think I needed as many pictures as I ended up including. I think I went a bit overboard on the pictures.
Um, I don't know. I think the pictures are fine. I actually would. maybe this is just my computer, that my computer is an ancient device.
Uh-huh.
But I have a hard time reading the like that the typewriter text on this.
And that's actually my favorite font, and that's the
Oh,
font I
okay.
use for like everything. So
Well, I'm gonna have a hard time reading your stuff from now on. But I should be getting a new. I have to get a new laptop soon because this one's going to just be destroyed.
uh,
It's gonna implode on itself. But yeah, no, I either have to I have to increase the the zoom on my computer to read it. Otherwise,
okay.
I don't know. That's probably just mine.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought the good things about your project was the length of it. I think you definitely put a lot of detail into this, even as you said, for something at the last minute.
Mhm.
I think that you hit a lot of attractions, but I also thought
I
that
mean, come on, man. You got to have an interactive acorn hunt in the Chippendale treehouse. I mean, come on now. That's all the most epic attraction in the history of ever. I mean, you walk in there and you go up a fucking flight of stairs, and then it's over. That's the attraction. It's mind blowing.
I like how we got an explicit rating based on the acorn tree. Out of all things to get the explicit rating for.
Man, Chippendale's treehouse is like the funniest thing in all of Disneyland. I will always make fun of it. Okay.
And I also think that it played a little bit to your. I think it played a little bit to your strength just because you've been to Disneyland before.
Exactly. That's one thing that I had an advantage in for sure.
So while MyMagic Plus you might not have been a fan of or known very much about, I think where it helped you out was that you knew what all the attractions were already. So you knew what to add to what to make them good. I will say my one, I guess, nitpick, which I try to give a nitpick to everybody, would be that I actually would have preferred that you pick like maybe a handful of attractions and go into detail about them rather than do like 15 to 20 and just have a sentence maybe about a couple of them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I thought the Star Wars one was pretty good.
Uh-huh.
I liked it kind of reminded me of Horizons, like choose your own ending.
That was kind of the thing that I was proud of, and of course I
Yeah,
did the Photoshop art for that.
yeah, that was good. And I also
It was rushed Photoshop, but
it gets the job done.
yeah, it
And I
does.
also
It
liked
does.
the Soarin'. I think that also was choose your own path.
Yes, yes. The thing that bothers me is that Soren is technically pick your destination, and in the Photoshop work, I accidentally put choose your destination.
Yeah, that's all right. I didn't even notice that. But I thought that was good. A couple of them I think could have had gone without. Like everyone wanted to put interactive elements into Small World, but I think that the interactive element that you used probably could have been better in the queue, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
And I don't even know how you. I could just imagine because I sometimes am a slow reader if it's far away because I have glasses. I can just imagine something being up on a castle top and I'm trying to read it and the boat's just going away.
Right, right.
Like, wait, I can't read that. So yeah, stuff like that. I was like maybe I would have liked to have heard more about Star Wars or Soren or something like that, or Mickey's Toontown, because I feel like there's could be a ton of interactive.
Oh, Mickey's Toontown, you could do a cavalcade of stuff with that. Yeah.
You can have an entire project on Mickey's Toontown.
You could.
Yeah, the amount of interactive elements you can use for that. So yeah, so that would be my one thing about the project. But overall, I thought it was solid. I thought it was good.
Okay. Matt, I actually liked Matt's project a lot.
I did. This was the one I was talking about, where I actually thought after reading Matt's project that he was going to win. I was actually surprised. Not that you.
I was surprised too, man. I was.
Not that. I mean, not saying that you had a bad project. I'm just saying that I thought that his idea was the most unique out of everyone's.
That I will agree with. Yeah.
I thought that he put up a really solid idea. The Mara system It reminded me of the movie Her for some reason.
Well, I mean, obviously it's supposed to be a take
Yeah.
on Siri, so.
Oh yeah, no. But I could see this working in a park because I mean my parents are computer illiterate and they can barely use their own smartphones. But the only thing
Huh.
that they use on the smartphone is Siri. So so they've gone past the evolution of typing stuff into Google. Now they just ask it.
Oh God. Oh God.
They don't know how to even get to the app, but that's a whole nother story. But so going to Walt Disney World with them is kind of a pain because I have to do everything because they don't
Mhm.
know how to. They don't. They have. I say, Mom, the app is on your phone. Oh, but I don't know how to open it. I was like, you click on it. Jeez, is a lot of
Yeah.
aggravation with
Yeah.
that. So I actually think that's something where it's kind of like. Do you remember the My Pal Mickey?
Kind of.
Did they have that in Disneyland? Well, it was a
It sounds familiar.
it was a stuffed animal. It was a stuffed Mickey,
Hmm.
basically. That when you pressed it, it would know where you are around the park. So as you're in the park, it would give you a fun fact about Big Thunder Mountain as you walk past it.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
It would tell you about wait times and stuff. So this kind of reminded me of that, just in more of a technical standpoint,
Right.
something that come with the MyMagic Plus as a whole. So I thought it was good. I didn't really see any issues with it. Actually no, my one issue was that he didn't really expand on the fast pass system. I was a little bit because in Disney World you're granted 3 fast passes a day for one specific park. Except I think Magic Kingdom you can get 4. I don't know how that works though, but I just know that whenever we did it, we got 3 for a specific park. And with Disneyland, with the 2 parks so close together, I would have liked it if you could use it for both parks at the same time, where you don't have to
Hmm.
stay in one park the whole day. I don't know. That's just, I wish that someone talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of elements about Fast Pass Plus that I'm very skeptical about, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I'll cross that bridge when I get there, but I don't even want to think about it right now.
It works for what it is. I think that for people, it depends on what kind of vacation you want. For people who liked the spontaneity of hoping that there was a fast pass for Soarin' at noontime on the day of the attraction, they're probably going to be disappointed when it's all sold out on your app the 2 days before.
And that is exactly what I'm kind of terrified of, that kind of bullshit going down right there.
But it also depends on when you go. Like if you're going in the middle of Christmas time, you should expect that the fast passes are going to run out.
Uh-huh.
If you're going in, I think last time we went was the end of August, and we were actually able to change up fast passes during our trip.
Uh-huh.
So the only ones that we couldn't change up were what's its name? Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Oh God.
That one. That one was we had to get those like a month or so in advance. I don't know if we could have
Jesus
gotten.
Christ. Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, that's the thing,
Almost.
man. It's I don't even want to think about that kind of stuff.
We didn't ride it in 2014 just because we didn't want to wait in line. So we told ourselves like, all right, we have to ride this just to say that we rode it. And then we rode it, and then we said, well, we're never riding that again unless it's a fast pass.
Why the hell is someone calling me at 10 at night? Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
You know what? Can you talk about
Don't worry, I'll be on hold. I'll talk about the project.
yeah, that was
Are you still here?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, we were on Matt's project, and I think even in my review, I tried to predict the winners of each round because I tried to guess before I looked at the actual results, and I actually ended up guessing that Matt would win for this round. I was 3 out of 4. So this one was actually I was surprised because I thought that he had a good project. I thought that, especially since if you looked back at last year's Elite Eight, I think this project was above and beyond better what he put out in the first round of last year.
Talking about Matt.
Yeah, and I think that this one was way above and beyond. Actually, even stuff that he did this year, I think this one was the most unique. And even from working with him in The Choice and Sorcerer's Apprentice, he's always an ideas guy.
He is.
So it's just a
He
matter.
got the ball rolling on the very first project that we had for Soul Imagineer, which was the Casey's Corner style restaurant.
Oh yeah, no, he usually came up with our ideas for the like when he was on. When did I forgot when he was off of Sorcerer's Apprentice, but I just know for the first few challenges, he was basically the ideas guy, and then Red, Flippin, and I would basically just work off of that
Right.
and work from what he came up with. So he's really good with that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the final matchup,
Sure.
which was we would predict that it was the hardest one to judge, and I think it is, just because I think these projects are so damn similar to each other.
We said this in our predictions podcast. This matchup, while it would be the best in terms of a competitive standpoint, I don't know how you pick a winner from this. It's like you flip a coin.
So we're
These guys
talking
are
about
so
yeah,
D squared and equal.
D squared and T
Not
equal.
saying that not saying that the projects are bad in any way. I'm saying that they're good in the same ways.
They're good in the exact same ways. They have
Yeah,
almost the exact same ideas.
yeah. I
Kind
will
of
say that.
crazy.
I think D squared usually thinks a little bit more out of the box than T cool. I think, and we even mentioned that before. I think T cool sticks to more the traditional route of. I didn't say traditional. I don't even know if that's the right term, but more. Um, I'm losing the English word right now. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. He does things. I'm not even going to finish that sentence because I can't think of the word. Traditional. I'll go with traditional. Purist. That's what I was thinking of.
Yes, yes, yes.
He's more of a Disney purist, whereas wow, D squared usually thinks.
You're all good,
That was
man.
a
This is
tongue.
what finals does to you, okay? I'm
Oh,
completely in your same boat.
this is supposed to be my break. um,
I feel
he,
very bad for you then. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry if this is your break.
all, all I know is I know how pathetic is that. This is my break.
Like, that genuinely makes me feel kind of bad.
I have nothing else to do except for studying, and then did I tell you I was able to there's an extra credit project for one of my classes, so I'm combining Imagineering with the project. You have to do
Oh,
it.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I you know that extinct attractions thread that I had
Yeah.
for my biochem class, they said that you could do a creative project with anything with biochem, so I am redesigning Wonders of Life with biochem. It's gonna be
Oh,
awesome.
wow. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I might not post it on the forum so I don't get ridiculed for my nerdiness of it, but I'll definitely submit it for the extra credit. But anyway, where were we?
El
Anyway,
Nino is coming. The California storms are upon us. It is pouring in California right
all
now.
I know that it was like 55 out today, and it's
Oh
December,
my
and I
God. Can you hear that?
no
No. Oh my God. It's really coming down like out of nowhere.
raining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, it's just I was it's we have like a abnormally warm day today. It felt like April.
Okay. Okay. Anyways. So.
Anyway, the winner of this round was T Cool, and how they determined this, I don't know. But
That's
I'm gonna
really
run
not
with it.
meant to be a slight against either of them. It's just kind of what we were saying about how they're so evenly matched here.
No, they're both very, very good Imagineers,
But I would
and
wager to say that the two projects that they submitted are probably the least outside the box projects that we got out of the 7.
yeah, I think if you're going to compare them together, I think D Squares was a little bit more outside the box than T Cool, but I mean, they were both pretty cut and dry, the same type of aspects, you know.
Right. A lot of it was just basically like, hey, let's take what worked at Walt Disney World and apply it to Disneyland. And that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. And not that there's anything wrong with that. That's That's a Seinfeld reference. Matt will get that. If he's
Oh, speaking of Seinfeld, so we just reviewed the Santa Claus 2 on Seasonal Shenanigans. Do you remember that at all?
the Santa Claus
2? Yes.
that come out. Yeah, I remember that. That was a Tim Allen movie.
Mm-hmm. Has Elizabeth Mitchell in it from Lost.
I never watched Lost.
Also from, do you watch Once Upon a Time?
I've seen an episode or two of it.
She was the Snow Queen from the Frozen story arc in Once Upon a Time.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'll take your word for it.
Take my word for it. Yeah. Anyways, so she's the Mrs. Claus in the Santa Claus 2. She's the love interest, but her last name is Newman, right? And she's a principal of the school, and she's always like going around because Charlie, Tim Allen's son, is kind of like in his rebellious phase, so he's going around like graffitiing the school and everything. And there's like at least 2 or 3 times where Elizabeth Mitchell kind of like foils Charlie's plots, and every single time I'm just like, Newman.
Newman. It's funny. Toy Story 2 actually took a lot of the voice actors from Seinfeld.
That's true. That's true.
Toy Story 2, I think, came out when Seinfeld retired. It was like 1999 or something, 1998.
Yeah, I was right around the same time. Right.
Newman was Al from Al's Toy Barn.
Whoa, holy shit, I just saw a flash of lightning. I'm sorry. Really quick, this is kind of just us. We're basically done with the Elite 8 talk, but this is kind of us just shooting the shit right now. But really quick, me and Blue Dragon 5 came up with a fan theory regarding Big Al. So, there's the Buzz Lightyear Star Command TV show, and Zurg is actually voiced by Wayne Knight.
Zurg is voiced by Wayne? I thought that was Andrew Stanton.
No. In the Buzz Lightyear Star Command show, he's voiced by Wayne Knight.
Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize. Wow, that's a weird voice.
and so Blue Dragon 5 and I, we have this theory that basically, since Buzz Lightyear Star Command is essentially an animated spin-off of the Buzz Lightyear character, there's no reason why continuity-wise it couldn't take place within the... As a matter of fact, the opening of the Buzz Lightyear show is actually the Toy Story characters turning on the TV and watching Buzz Lightyear Star Command, which implies that it's part of the Toy Story universe, the actual show. So me and Blue Dragon 5 were like, well, what if Al from Al's Toy Barn took up a voice acting gig and did Zurg?
You just blew my mind with that one.
All right.
Anyway.
Right. So do you want to get into some really quick predictions?
Well, I'm going to have to pick you for this round because you're my only hope at this point. My fantasy team. I was actually, as soon as I saw Sam's project, I was like, wow, my team might actually have a shot. Because and then I watched it and then I compared them and I was like, well, maybe one more day.
Well, I'm actually a big fan of the concept that I came up with. I'll admit that when I saw what the project was going to be, I was like, oh, geez, what the hell am I going to do that isn't the electrical parade? But the topic, of course, is designing a nighttime parade for Shanghai Disneyland.
Yeah, so that's challenge 2. So now the final 4 of you, first R. Michael, and then T. Cool versus IDI. Actually, that's a rematch of the Soul Imagineer finale.
Very true. Very true. I think if I were to make a prediction, I'd say IDI is going to take T-Cool on pretty steadily. I think IDI has probably got that in the bag.
I'm not too sure.
You're not too sure?
I'm not. No. Well, I'm not too sure on anything right now. It's due Monday.
You're not too sure about the future and your prospects for achieving shit.
All I know is that in a week I will be sitting in Star Wars Episode 7 right now, and I'll be a happy man.
I hear that. God bless America.
Hopefully, I will not be throwing stuff at the TV when Jar Jar Binks comes on the screen.
No. They've already said that there's going to be no Jar Jar. We don't have to worry about that.
Well, JJ also said there was no that Benedict Cumberbatch was not Khan.
Very true. JJ is kind of like a
Really?
notorious liar.
So
And
basically,
going back to Lost, I mean, fucking J.J. Abrams kind of made a career out of screwing around with people through Lost.
it's basically whatever he says, just don't listen to it.
All right, all right. But I think it's going to be really interesting seeing me go up against R. Michael. I think if R. Michael pulls out any multimedia things in his project, I'm going to be screwed. But I have a concept that I like that I'm going to run with, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
Okay, so I think that's about it. That's about it. Any last words?
Good luck to the competitors. I think it's due on Monday. So you got the weekend to think about it.
It's due on Monday, but so is my goddamn Photoshop final. So okay.
Well, then something's got to give with that.
I know, right? Oh
Yeah.
God.
Maybe you can get an extension.
No, that's not possible.
No, I was talking about the Elite Eight thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say it's not possible with Photoshop.
Oh no, I wouldn't expect that.
No. Okay, well, we will be back to recap the second round of the Elite Eight, probably sometime in the next week or so. So, in the meantime, Space Mountain, I hope you enjoy Star Wars as much as I do, and hopefully we'll synchronize a way for you to come on with your reactions for that on Thursday night, although it'll be very late. But
if it's a good movie, I will be up and ready. You don't have to worry about that.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Right,
in the meantime, folks, thank you all for joining us, and here's to a great 2016 and a great rest of the Elite Eight, and just a great future for WDWMagic in general. May the force be with you, and so on and so forth. Yeah.